So in the last videos, we discussed where to find amazing agencies or freelancers to hire so they can manage your growth for your business. We also discussed pricing strategies that are common and 10 must-ask interview questions so you can properly vet the agency or freelance partner you want to enter into a relationship with. Today, I want to make a video where I highlight 7 mistakes that you have to avoid when working with an agency or a freelancer, so you make sure that you don't end up running into any issues or you end up getting a bad deal, which ultimately no one benefits from, right? You build suspicion and unhappiness about an agency, then ultimately you churn, the agency is not happy about it, you build up bad experiences. The amount of business owners that I'm talking to at AdAmigo.ai who complain about bad experiences with agencies is staggering, and so no one really benefits. The agency doesn't benefit, you don't benefit. So it's important that you know some of the basics, and so you can work professionally and you can work effectively together with your agency or freelancer. All right, so let's dive right in. The very first thing that you have to make sure, and it's the first thing because honestly it's one of the most important things and it's one of the most frequent issues that I come across working with brands at AdAmigo.ai, and that is that you don't end up actually owning the advertising assets. Most importantly, you don't own the business manager, the Facebook business manager, or Google Google Business Manager, TikTok Business Manager. Make sure that you are the one creating the business manager. In my example, the world that we live in is Meta ads, right? You create the Meta Business Manager, so you own it, and then you share advertiser access to your agency or freelancer's email or business manager account, right? There's plenty of tutorials out there on YouTube. If you are interested in me recording it, you can write a comment below and I'll record that content, the next day. So just let me know. But yeah, make sure you create the business manager, you create the ad account and connect your payment method to the ad account, you create the Meta Pixel or data source. They now rephrased it, or it's part of the data source, and that you have ongoing access to all the creative assets the agency might be producing for you. So that can be the image and video content that they run as ads, the copy they write, or any other assets that they produce. Watch out for certain red flags, right? Don't, jump into the offer, hey, we're going to create the ad account for you, don't you worry. There are reasons sometimes why it might be a good idea, but it's always, then you can always ask, okay, that's fine, but at least have my pixel installed on the website as well so I can get that data throughout our relationship, right? So always make sure you own that. And then also regarding the creatives, we'll send you the files during offboarding. Make sure you have some sort of shared Google Drive or Dropbox where all the assets are being uploaded and you have ownership of those assets. And make sure to build it all into the contract. I have an example clause right here that you can make sure is part of the contract when you work with your agency. Next, talent transparency, a senior versus junior, very important. So very often you end up talking to a sales representative when you talk to an agency, or you talk to some sort of senior strategist or media buyer in the organization. But the person who will actually operate your ad account, who will actually develop creative strategy, and who will potentially even design those creatives, then often is someone outsourced in another country or someone who's junior or whatever it may be. So just make sure, you might not really care about it, but make sure you know about it, and make sure you really know the person who will in the end of the day make all the decisions on your ad account, on your creative strategy, and make sure you have a relationship with that person ideally, right? So you can ask to have the role and seniority listed in the agreement, so you can make that part of your service agreement, and then obviously make sure that you have regular engagement with the person who's managing your ads. That can be through Loom recordings and reports. My preferred option is that you have an actual Slack channel where you guys can communicate, so you're always in the loop. The next thing, it's right here, typical hours or time needed to conduct a certain task. I think that is important because let's say like, hey, what have we achieved this week? And you get a report, yeah, we created a new campaign, we dialed in 3 target audiences, and we've optimized a couple of ads, right? Sounds impressive, sounds amazing. But if you know this checklist right here, you might realize, oh, this is really more like 20 minutes of work. Is that enough for me? And is the ad account in a position so good that we can afford to just spend 20 minutes a week on the ad account, right? It can be good, it can be bad. If someone spends a lot of time on the account, often it might not even be needed, right? But you should just know, and then you can kind of tell, and you can have a conversation with your media buyers on an eye to eye level. Now, this list right here is from one of our case studies at AdAmigo.ai. We benchmark our automation impact that we have on businesses. You can see right here, and we have a benchmark, a list right here of all the different timeframes that we have measured. So we've had one of our media buyers perform certain tasks in the account. So create a campaign, create an ad set with a target audience inside, launch an ad, go through the entire ad account and run a budget optimization on a campaign, ad set or ad. And so you always have here the analytics and then the actual action. And that tends to be how much time it takes. Now you have maybe 30 audiences that are in the account that need to be managed. And so obviously you can increase the time times 30. It will take obviously more time, but this should give you a rough understanding of how much time someone has to take in your ad account to take certain actions. Good. Then, third one, very important, align on metrics that actually matter, not vanity metrics, right? So don't get distracted with click-through rates. Don't get distracted with cost per website visitors. Don't get distracted with impressions and reach. All of those things, in the end of the day, don't really matter. Ask yourself, what is the business that I'm in? Am I in the business of getting leads that then turn into clients, right? Am I in the business of selling products online? What is my margin that I need to hit? So ask yourself these questions, work it out with your agency, establish that as the guiding principle, and then make sure that all the reports are based on that as well, right? Of course, it's harder to drive conversions than clicks. And of course, it's harder to drive profitable conversions than clicks. So obviously, be graceful, give them time to hit those results, and accept fluctuation in the results. All of these things are very common when you run ads on Google and Meta and TikTok, right? But in the end of the day, you need to know the reality, and you need to know actual profitability of your ads, and your agency should measure on that and optimize against that and report on that, right? So cost per results, so cost per lead or cost per purchase, is a good way. MER, marketing efficiency ratio. So you take the total revenue from customers that were generated from ads versus the ad spend on all of your advertising channels, and you want the profit scenario there, right? So I can make an entire other video on how to calculate at what ROI you're profitable on your ads. But in the end of the day, it's a question of your profit margin, right? So if you have a 50% profit margin, then 2 is the marketing efficiency ratio to aim for to be break even. You spend $1, you get 2 in ROI. $1 goes away for the ads, $1 goes away for overhead and whatever it may be, cost of goods sold and so on. Cool. Then obviously funnel metrics could be interesting as well, right? So what is my conversion rate from website visitor to ads to cart to purchase, or from website visitor to lead, from lead to conversion, and have that reported maybe by different advertising channels. So you can understand, hey, what channel brings me the highest quality traffic, or even what ad creative brings me the highest quality traffic. So measure end all be all profitability, measure funnel efficiency, and then you're in good shape. Cool. Then real-time data access, very important. Make sure you have real-time data access. Obviously, you are the owner of the ad account, but a lot of business owners don't know how an ad account is constructed. They don't know the way around it. They don't know what metrics mean what. So ask to have some simplified reporting. A lot of brands and agencies, they use Google Data Studio. So that could be a good alternative. Or if your agency doesn't already have something in place, agencyanalytics.com is an easy to use solution. You can quickly integrate all your marketing channels, and you can get one dashboard where you can see all your spend, all your revenue, all your leads, all your customers, all your active ads from all your advertising channels. So this could be a great alternative as well to check out. Good. Then ad review and brand safety workflow. That's very straightforward. I would say typically every brand has this in place. I see this sometimes when brands work with affiliates that they neglect this a little bit. And then you have affiliates who are very incentivized to bring revenue, make some dodgy claims or make claims that are a little bit shady that hurt your brand, right? So make sure that every creative gets approved by you first. You can set up a ClickUp board, or you can ask them to send it into the Slack channel that you have. A lot of agencies, anyways, have a process in place. And I think it's a good idea to ask for a meta ads preview link. So the agency can launch the ad into the account and send you a preview link so you can see what the ad will actually look like on Facebook, on Instagram, in stories, in reels, on the Facebook and Instagram feed, right? So that could be a very good way to go about it. Then make sure you don't get locked into very long-term contracts. So it's normal, I would say, that you need around 90 days to really measure success on an advertising project, right? So if you're running ads on Facebook and you're starting from scratch, it does take typically on the 1.5 months. So towards the second half of the second month is where you typically should see some momentum happening. That's the current status quo. It used to be that within the first month, you can kind of tell if the person running the ads knows what he or she is doing, but it does take longer recently. So I would say second half, second month. So in the third month, you should kind of see light at the end of the tunnel, and you should go somewhere with your advertising campaigns. But be realistic there and know that it will take those 2 to 3 months to really get to something substantial. You cannot, if you have to become profitable in the first month, you might not want to pursue paid ads at the moment, or and make sure it's like the agency fee plus the ad spend, right? So maybe you just figure out how to run ads on your own in the beginning. You can use a tool like AdAmigo.ai to do that. And then you have more money available for the advertising budgets. But make sure you can survive 30 days running ads, and then 90 days, and then on the third month should be sort of your first profitable month, ideally. Cool. All right. This is an optional thing. You could say it's a bonus. I don't think it hurts to get fresh opinions every now and then on your advertising strategy in general. So in the very first video, I think we've spoken about fractional CMOs. So if you're in a position in terms of revenue and so on where you can afford that, I think a fractional CMO to come in once or twice a week to sort of bring the strategic guidance could be a very good idea. There's also plenty of consulting networks out there where you can hire professional media buyers to just look on your ad account for $100, and they'll look into your ad account for an hour and have that conversation with you and list out sort of new ideas to implement. And you can then bring that back to the agency and brainstorm it with them. And I think that's always a good idea, right? That's always a good idea. Amazing. Now, if you don't really want to go ahead and hire an agency right now, or you've had too many bad experiences, you can think about onboarding an AI agent to do that work for you. So we at AdAmigo.ai created an autonomous meta ads agent that creates your ads, creates a strategy, manages your budgets and bidding, and runs the ad account completely on autopilot, is hyper transparent, and shares every idea it wants to implement before it implements it. You can start with as little as $99 a month. There's a money back guarantee if you're not happy. So that could be an alternative to check out as well. And I hope you got tons of value from the video. If there's other videos like this that you could be interested in, or things you want me to dive deeper into, just drop a comment below and I'll make sure to record that. And thanks for watching.